Ok ragazzi, siamo qua nello studio di Sin Fang, gli chiederò un po' di cose sulla discografia islandese in generale, sul suo lavoro e insomma spero di riuscire a essere il più comprensibile possibile, voi come sempre siate comprensivi con me. Okay, so nice to meet you, and thank you for the interview. Thank you for this. We're in your studio that is very beautiful. You have a lot of stuff, a lot of analogic trick. You know? Like this guitar pedal.
Yeah.
You use it for your music with the guitar or just for the synth or something like that?
I use it kind of for everything.
I have interviewed a lot of artists in this year, and always I have found something that is common for everyone. That is something that is really digital, just be something that could be bored at a point of your career. If you use a lot of serum, massive, and something like that, there is one point for me as well that you say, okay, stop using plugin because everyone uses it, and you can feel it when you feel the music and listen to music that have a lot of presets, a lot of digital plugin. It's, I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me it's often I have to do something to the sound.
Okay.
I have a hard time using stuff that's straight out of the program or the synth or something. I feel like I always have to do something to make the sounds mine. I don't know if that makes sense, and also I do often a lot of processing in the computer. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's I think
more original. I don't know, maybe.
You just kind of want to feel like this sound is your sound.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe it's ugly for some reason. You know, it's not beautiful, but it's original. It's unique, and it's your.
I definitely like to make everything ugly and sound crappy. Like
absolutely.
A bit like distorted and crappy. Yeah.
Absolutely, I think
it kind of gives it life.
Yeah, exactly. I used to. I don't know if you agree with this. I used to search for sound in YouTube. That are just, I don't know, I try to use to search something that is Iceland, an Iceland instrument, that strange guitar.
Long spill. Yeah.
Exactly. I try to find a note to sample. And try to, but I can't, because there are in YouTube there are a lot of music that have a lot of notes and something like that. So
difficult to find what you mean, like a single note, because it's always like a chord.
Exactly. Always a chord.
So
because I try to travel and catch the sound of the city and the place, and try to make an instrumental, a new instrumental for every place that I visit.
That's
so
smart.
I think that could be something that makes you grow with music and experiment.
Of course. I do the same thing with I record everything on my phone. I do a lot of samples on my phone, and I just write down the date of it. Like maybe I have this open at the moment. This is like a song I'm doing. This is just titled January 2019, and it's just like
that's beautiful.
Recorded this out my window, and it's like on some intro.
Beautiful.
I've been told I need.
This isn't
beautiful. Yesterday I sampled a waterfall.
Yeah.
In
Skåfoss.
Exactly. Not that one. First there was a smaller that I can absolutely remember the name. But I was there with my microphone and sampling the waterfall.
Yeah, it's so fun. Also, like sometimes I just record like birds singing or stuff like that, and just put it somewhere in the song, like very low. But then I feel like I've made it's a little like journal entry of like some time that you were, like if you put it as like a time capsule, you put it into the song. It's really fun.
Absolutely, it's beautiful what you say. It's something that freeze time in your song, in your track, and I think that could be really original and really in Paris I've sampled the sound of the Metropolitan, the door.
Train.
The door that closed. That sound in Paris. Something like that. That was like a F. Not really an F, but something like that. And I did a synth that have all these voices under it, you know.
There's also like cool reverb there. Like,
exactly.
Nice.
And it's beautiful because actually that sound with that voice below, it's impossible to recreate. It's impossible to recreate that. So I think that all this stuff that you have are really great because are yours, and it's impossible that
it is,
you know,
it is kind of impossible to make like a
something like you do,
sample,
you know. Exactly.
Yeah, that's, I guess I've been collecting kind of stuff for years. Like that is just full of like random stuff that makes noise.
Beautiful.
And then I have like a folder on my computer where I categorize all the sounds and stuff. I kind of sometimes I like to spend time just like going through samples and categorizing them and stuff.
Beautiful.
But,
it's like the old movie Francis Ford Coppola. The Conversation, that was that man in his studio that record everything with tape, and I don't know if you've seen it.
I don't think I've seen that.
I love movies, so I've seen a lot of. And according to this, talking about movies, we before the interview we discovered that you didn't know that we discovered your music in a movie, an Italian movie with Stefano Accorsi, and you didn't know it.
No, I mean, someone must have asked me, so I probably said yes. But I had forgotten.
But I think that could be something beautiful because
I'm gonna watch the movie probably maybe tonight or something.
We love what you did. We buy a vinyl of you and
the Team Dreams.
Exactly. Of other two artists, Iceland artists that you work with. You begin with a band, actually.
It was my solo project at first, like maybe 2004, 2005, and I did a 7-inch with, you know, the American band Grizzly Bear, and then like I was making music and I needed to get people to play with me in a band, so I just talked to some friends and it ended up being this band called Sea Bear, which then we ended up touring like kind of around the world for 3 or 4 years, I think.
Beautiful.
Then after that I went more into my solo stuff called Sin Fang, and the Sin Fang and Sole Arvar stuff was our kind of, we had this fun project where we would do 1 song a month.
Okay.
And release it every last Friday. So we did every month
a song.
Yeah, until December, and then in December the album came out. So we were like thinking, like, wouldn't it be fun to record the song and then release it the same day? It was a fun experiment.
Yeah, I know what are you talking about. We did project some years ago, and we tried to put together artists of the scene, so Italian scene, rap scene, and we tried to record a song for a week.
Yeah.
So every Sunday, this was called Drops to Sunday, and every Sunday we just put a song on YouTube.
Nice,
and it was beautiful, funny. Now we listen to that things, and you know, you can find something that is really naive, you know. Yeah. But was beautiful, funny.
That's great.
Know? Yeah. And you prefer working with a band or in your solo project, or with other people, or for you?
I think both is fun. When I'm working alone, I'm always thinking, oh, I should have a band with me. And then when I have a band, I'm like, oh, I wish I was alone. So I think it's both. I think I like both.
Maybe in a band it's more hard to, you know, put brains together and.
Yeah, I mean, also you have to be democratic in a band when you're like, and also we're like 6 people in the Sea Bear band, so it's a lot of opinions sometimes, and you have to find the golden middle road kind of for it.
Exactly.
But it's great also. I think often in bands, like, ideas go through a lot of filters, and then often it can't be the best version of the idea that survives, kind of. But when you're an egomaniac, you're like, oh, I'm gonna add like a 7-minute instrumental in the end of that song, and there's no one to tell you like, oh, that's pretty crazy, do that. But so I think, you know, both. I like both.
I know others too. I used to work a lot with other people, but not actually in a band, just single project and album and something like that. And it's beautiful, and working in two for me it's perfect. Working alone is I don't know, maybe I want someone that just try to I think that the most beautiful part of working together is discover something that you didn't know before. So it's the reason that why I am traveling around the world and try to know people, and absolutely I will ask you to use some suggestion for music, and so because I really love that part of working together.
Yeah.
So for me it's okay, but more than two people,
it can be.
Mess.
It can be. It also needs to be the right people together.
Yeah,
working together. I mean,
absolutely.
and also sometimes when you find someone that you like to work together, it's always keep in touch and stuff. But I mean, I've been also in rooms with 5 or 6 people where it's just like it also works, but then also it can be 2 of you, and it's all horrible as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's just like I think it
Absolutely.
depends on the person. I think I'm always open to trying to work with people, and I've done actually a lot of that this year, just meeting people for the first time and then try to write a song together, and I think it's been quite fun. I still haven't had any bad experiences. I think if you're just open to it, and I mean, it is a bit strange to meet someone for the first time and say, hey, how's it going? Let's write a song together. It's
No,
really
it's
weird.
impossible.
But I've done it a few times this year with like songwriting in America and here in like Norway and stuff, and I enjoyed it. It was very different from being in a band though, where you have to have like an artistic. I mean, we've all, grown this kind of craft or talent to make music whenever we want, but we're kind of dragged down by everything that we do has to be representation of our artistic selves.
Yeah.
So you can make like 50 songs a day, but but then when you have to like put your name to it, you have to think like, is this what I want to say to the world with my music? So when you're working with someone else, and maybe your goal is just to write like, let's write a pop song, or let's write a song for a movie or something, and then you're more like using your skills and your craft rather than trying to breathe life into some sort of art that represents you. And I like that, because I hadn't done that very much, and I think that slows people down a lot, is overthinking.
Yeah.
Like, does this bass sound like it's it's from my artist name, or so I recommend people also try just to write songs for whatever, or with someone else, or just something. It's a good exercise, and it's fun.
I think that it's a good exercise at all. I never did that actually, because I always try to put myself. For me, it's really hard to work with someone that I don't know. Someone, I don't know, maybe just for my little experience until now, but always prefer to work with people that I really know, that I can help with arguments, discussion, but I think that could be really a great exercise. Always also make you see the things of a different point of view, something like that. Different perspective, exactly.
I think because I've been doing a bit of this, like it's called co-writing, I guess, and then you just meet someone, and most of the time I meet someone who's called like a top liner, which is someone who just writes melodies and lyrics and stuff. So I'm just doing like producing something, and they sing over it, and then we write like a song together. And all the songs that I've done for that is something I would never done for myself.
I think that the most beautiful track that the track that I really loved more that I did was the track of the really first week of working together with people that after that I maybe 2 or 3 albums together, but the first week, or the first thing that we say, okay, this is good, was really something that now I look with, passion. I don't know, because we're true.
Also, when you do a lot of production, I guess it's kind of changing a lot now. Also, just how music works. Because I noticed there are a lot less bands anymore. Just like in the world in general, it's all just solo artists.
Yeah, there's a lot of solo projects, band projects.
Yeah, it's very healthy for me to work with other people because I can stay alone in this. I live like next door, and I can just stay here without going out for like 3 weeks, and I've just gone crazy.
Absolutely. And in Italy we have this problem of royalties. You were saying before. A lot of people just it's like a war, according to you, it's better to working with people and maybe take less and do our job that could be something great, or maybe it's better.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on you as a person. Me personally, I'm kind of only interested in making music, and so I have a hard time with the business side of music.
Yeah, me too.
I've released music on the same label, or mostly the same label, for 10 years.
Oh.
And they have kind of taken care of all that royalty stuff for me over the years.
Yeah, I really don't like people that try to make war for one point of. I think that that this thing just ruin music, because always people are thinking about making the things that could work.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's something that is strange, I think, because I think that 10 or maybe 15 years ago music was really increases in Italy, because there are, there was not Spotify and streaming service, so the artists try to make music and maybe earn with merchandise or show, and now that you can earn money with your music, the thing is that people just try to make things more easier, more easier, more
like easy listening.
Pop, but pop in a not a good.
It is very funny, this Spotify thing. That, I mean, if you make something that gets onto like the study playlist or like the calm piano playlist, something huge. That your like Spotify numbers can go like through the roof. Like you can have like some millions of streams on some songs, and then the record label and publisher sees your Spotify, because everything is about numbers these days, like followers, likes, and blah blah blah. They see that and they're like, oh, 1 million listeners a month, let's sign this person or band.
Yeah, I think that is the same problem in Italy. There's musicians that have a lot of numbers that are virtual number, not real. How this is possible?
It's very strange.
Because of this, a lot of people, I think, that talks about and think about music correlate with playlist. This song could be proposed in that playlist, and it's okay. So
but then you start writing music for the playlist, which is insane. But
insane.
I think it's kind of just another version of like people 20 years ago be like, oh, we have to make a song that's 2 minutes 30 seconds, and it has to be like very poppy chorus for the radio. So it's kind of, I guess, translates to the same thing, but but the problem is, like, at least like if you had a #1 hit on the radio somewhere in a big country, you could get a lot of money. If you have a few millions, I mean, I have a few million plays on Spotify. I don't get any money for that. Like, no one gets any real money, kind of like.
Sure. There's an artist in Italy, a huge artist that is really interesting, and he says on an interview some weeks ago, he says the problem is that with Spotify and with that absolutely is great for artists, because with Spotify and playlist there's a lot of space for everyone. But the problem is that when something works, maybe in Italy, everyone tried to do that type, that genre of music. 100 projects that 2 minutes.
Sound the same,
and it's. I think that it's not good for music because that's level everything. you know?
Everything becomes very similar.
Exactly. So it's
It is a very interesting time. Maybe it's kind of similar to what it was 20 years ago, but just with like different situations.
yeah.
I think, I mean, but being a music fan in 2019 is really good. I mean, because I'm 37, so I grew up with like, you know, buying one CD and then listening to that for 2 months,
Yeah.
just the same one, and then like, you know, going to my friend's house because he had another CD to listen to that, you know. And
now we listen all the
yeah, now I
singles,
can
just
now I
single.
just have too much music. I'm like, I
Yeah.
have like a few albums in my head, and I'm okay. I have to listen to a new Tom York album, and that soundtrack just came out, and I have to find time in my life to actually listen to all this music because I'm still you know, very excited about music. It's
Yeah.
still, I've heard that people like when they get older they stay like listening to the things that they listened to when they were teenagers, but I'm still just like looking
Everything.
for
New.
for new stuff. And
I think that for me it's the same, but I begin to love other things because you know, at 20 years old, 19 years old, for me that was just music and
Yeah.
nothing else.
yeah,
You know, nothing.
yeah,
Woman, you know, nothing, just
Yeah.
music. Now I discover other passion that I just put into the music, like
Yeah.
movies, you know.
of course.
For me it's something that evolved with me,
Yeah.
grow with me, you know, the music. But for me too, the curiosity and
Mhm.
trying to listen and discover new sounds, for me is the thing that I absolutely love
Yeah, yeah.
most. And also look what people around the world use to produce. For me is, you know,
Yeah, I can be on YouTube for hours looking at
exactly
like
exactly.
setups and studios and
Absolutely.
sessions and
Absolutely, I think that
Yeah.
this is a work of about for nerd people.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like
oh,
that.
yeah, very good,
something
yeah.
like that. Really.
Yeah, I'm listening to a really good podcast these days called Hanging Out with Audiophiles. Have you heard that?
No, never.
It's I recommend you check it out. Like Hanging Out with Audiophiles, it's great.
Hang out with audiophiles.
Audiophiles, yeah.
It's beautiful. But and this, how is the scene? I think that scene is
In Iceland.
in Iceland.
The
Yeah,
music scene.
music scene. Yeah.
It's I mean, I feel like it's a bit difficult these days. Also, just it's very expensive for people to rent a space for a studio downtown.
Okay.
And the scene in Iceland has been great for me. I've never really heard of any sort of competition in Iceland because there's definitely no point in competing over a market this small. It's not for money people, it's just for people who have like
passion
to do
like
it.
that.
So, and there's always plenty of people like that in Iceland, but I feel like it's a bit of a hard time right now, just for people to find space to work, kind of.
Yeah, I think that for me it's always been interested of Iceland music. The things that I love of Iceland and is that when something begin to be really huge and really popular around the world, is always something that is not pop or easy to listen.
Yeah.
It's something like Sigur Rós, Björk, or maybe Kiasmos. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
So in Italy, when a product begin to be huge, it's always something that is more easy or pop or you know. Why in Ireland it's not, according to your point of view, things are more sophisticated when they
more strange or something.
more strange, exactly.
Well, this is, I think it has to do with the smallness of Iceland. We live really close to each other. We go to the same places, play the same shows and stuff, and I don't think it's ever been like thought to be very cool to sound like someone else in Iceland, or like another band that's doing something. You like it, you're like, what you need to kind of come up with your own sound or thing or stuff.
So it's more different. The scene
Yeah,
is
yeah.
really different.
I think so. I think people are not. I think people are inspired by each other in Iceland, but they don't try to copy each other.
Beautiful.
I don't think so.
Beautiful. In Italy, it's absolutely the opposite because we're not a huge country, a big country. We are not a lot. There's not a lot of people, but the people that live in Italy are enough. There's a lot of people right now that want to play music and be musician or singer or something like that, because it's according to their point of view, it's easy, like playing football. Everyone try to play football and no one go in Serie A, something like that. Often the people that listen to you are people that trying to do music. And this, there's a lot of show in Italy, and you could do your career and never play around the world, never. We're really closed, I don't know why we never try to spread the word with our music. Maybe for the language, we always sing in Italian.
Yeah, that might be it. I think that's also probably why a lot of bands in Iceland sing in English is
there's a lot of people.
Yeah, because they're trying to reach a broader audience.
How many people are here in Iceland?
300,000.
No, not in
Reykjavík.
In
the whole country.
Yeah.
300,000.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better if you
I
try
think
to
we have to
speak
go
in
somewhere.
Yeah, I think. Whoa.
That's 320,000 or something. It's very small.
Whoa, very small.
But we have in Iceland and in Norway, Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. There's music export offices.
Yeah, so
it's really good for countries to have that.
Beautiful.
If someone from the government is watching, they should start a Italian music export office. Sweden were the ones that started this first, which is just an office of people that are working on exporting Icelandic music and getting it out into the world.
It's like a booking.
No, more like a PR maybe.
Ah, okay.
And they have seminars and they invite people from Europe and America, like from booking agencies, and like managers, and they're trying to, get the word out. Because I think it started in Sweden when they realized after ABBA was like world famous in the 60s, that they saw how much money this brings to the country. And I think now like music is the second biggest export in Sweden.
Whoa.
So they just decided to put some money into an export office.
I think that it's really a good experience with music to make show around the world, and it's something that begin real, because in Italy we don't have this. I've talked with people in Hong Kong, their career, something like that, and people in France and Moscow, and the things that everyone says is that they can, plays around the world.
Yeah.
Maybe not in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong have this language that is Cantonese, that is really hard because it's a tonal language, something, so it's really hard. But in France, there's something really similar to this office that you were talking before, and maybe it's more booking, but it's booking and PR. So they go around the world and take music. I think that is possibly the things that make France music more international. In Italy, this right now it's something that is really hard. I think that it's not an interest of the company, of of the label.
Yeah. So are they just happy with just working with
Italian? I think that they try to says something like you don't need to sing in English because you are not good with language, with pronunciation, so you are not the credibility of your song is nothing, so you need to play and talk and speak and sing in Italian. But it's not true. No. I mean, there's a lot of beautiful accent that are not good, you know, but are beautiful because they are strange, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that it's, I don't know, it's something that it's not good for for the
No,
industry in Italian, I think.
I mean, like France is one of the most successful Europe music export country.
Absolutely.
I don't see why Italy couldn't also be.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been so many research to show that art gives so much back to the community, like money-wise, that it's a really good investment to invest in the arts,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it all comes back in various other forms.
Absolutely. I think that to export music and art in general is the thing that could make your country more influent the world. You know,
of course. That's like advertisement that you couldn't buy. It's so like,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
what like Björk and Sigur Rós and all these other bands have done for the image of Iceland is just like
Incredible.
yeah. I mean, it's
think.
you could put any amount of money on that. What you know, no ad agency with $300 million could get that good publicity. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, music is the only language everyone understands that have hearing. I mean, you know.
Exactly. It's a connection. I
Yeah.
think. Before leave you alone, because I think that you have to work.
No,
one question: what do you expect for this country and the music in this country? What do you, if you have the possibility, what do you suggest to culture minister? You know, so, okay, something like that.
I would suggest is something that similar that they have in Norway and Sweden, I know, which is government-sponsored like studio and rehearsal spaces.
Okay.
Just take like some old building here and allow people to make their studios in it rent-free, and allow like young people who want to start bands to, you know, just make a few rehearsal spaces so they have somewhere to go to try to make their music. So I think, I mean,
Space.
yeah, space, and maybe also something for like venues. I know in Norway you can apply for, if you're a music venue, you can apply for some sort of grants, but it just doesn't, I mean, you can't really, you know, it doesn't work as a money maker. You have to do the music because you love music, so you kind of have to expect not to make money of it, but we make something else out of it, not money, just like great experiences and, you know, like we said, good PR or maybe, or which I think, you know, probably matter more than money in the long run.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
So thank you for coming.